Students, we're going to talk about more reasoning. I'm sure you're kind of over that from the last section we did. Section 2-3, let's look at example 1, and what they're trying to teach us here is another type of reasoning, which is called deductive reasoning. So I'm going to outline that so you can see that. We learned in section 2.1 that if you have a counterexample, that's enough to disprove a conjecture. But to prove that a conjecture is true, you have to use deductive reasoning. And this is what deductive reasoning is. It's the process of using logic to draw conclusions from given facts, definitions, and properties, not observations. If we're using observations of some patterns, then that's inductive. But if we're using scientific evidence or given facts, definitions, properties, then that's deductive reasoning. So in example 1, what they want us to do is they've given us kind of a situation, and we are to determine whether the conclusion is a result of inductive reasoning or deductive reasoning, okay? So let me read it to you. Example 1, we're doing a media application. Urban legends and modern myths spread quickly through the media. Many websites and television shows are dedicated to confirming or disproving such myths. Is each conclusion a result of inductive or deductive reasoning? Here's your first scenario. There's a myth that toilets and sinks drain in opposite directions in the southern and northern hemispheres. However, if you were to observe sinks draining in the two hemispheres, you would see that this myth is false. Okay? Now, I think a key word is here. Observe sinks draining in the two hemispheres. If we're observing, then it's not presented as scientific fact, it's an observation, so this would be inductive reasoning, okay? That would be inductive. And so since the conclusion is based on a pattern of observation, we would consider that to be inductive. Let's read our second one. There's a myth that you should not touch a baby bird that has fallen from its nest because the mother bird will disown the baby if she detects human scent. However, biologists have shown that birds cannot detect human scent. Therefore, the myth cannot be true. So here's our key wording here. Biologists have shown that the birds cannot detect human scent. We've been presented with a biological fact. And so because it's scientifically proven, we would consider this deductive. Okay, we're not looking at a pattern of observation. We have actually been presented with a scientifically proven fact. Okay, so there's a couple of examples. There's a check it out that I obviously clearly did not have room to put on this piece of paper, so on this particular set of notes. But it is in your book. We can go over that in class tomorrow. And of course, we will be practicing this skill anyway in class. So if you have any questions, write them down in the margin. Let's talk about them tomorrow.